Hey kids. So we talked about positive externalities. Let's go ahead and talk about the other side of that, which is negative externalities. So let's start off with the example, which I think is probably the best example nowadays. This is becoming the textbook example, which is air pollution and global warming. So here's the argument. If you go put gas in your car, there's a lot of things that are happening that are all kind of interacting with the free market here, right? When you pay for that gas, you are paying for the scarcity of the gas. If gas is quite scarce, it will be reflected in a higher price. You're paying for how difficult it is to transport that gas. If gas is something that's hard to move, you pay for that. You're paying for the labor that goes into your gas. If gas takes a lot of people to refine or to move or to pump or extract from the ground, you are paying for all of that. But you put that gas in your car, you drive down the street, you emit CO2s, those warm the earth, and those harm somebody who had nothing to do with your fuel. They are there, it is harming someone who's not in the fuel industry, who didn't sell you the gas. It's harming somebody who's completely removed from your free market transaction. And you are not paying for the harm you are doing to that person. So that is a negative externality. It is something negative that comes from your transaction that is not controlled or priced in by the free market. Other examples of negative externalities, litter is a negative externality. So if I'm flying down the street and I just snarfed a double Whopper with cheese, I paid for that Whopper, Burger King sold me that Whopper, all free market, but now I'm stuck with this wrapper. What do? I throw it out the window, and now I'm hurting myself a little bit because now I have to look at my ugly Whopper wrapper next time I drive that route, but I'm hurting everyone else who has to drive that route because now they have to look at my ugly Whopper wrapper, and they don't work for Burger King, and they don't eat Whoppers, and they had nothing to do with my transaction. And the price I paid for that water did not take into account the negative cost I am tolling society with by littering that wrapper. Smoking. Secondhand smoke is a negative externality. If I want to buy a cigarette and I want to hurt myself and make myself be in bad health, and somebody wants to sell me that tobacco and that product to do so, that's all free market, right? But the second I go smoke and somebody else has to breathe that smoke, they had nothing to do with me. They didn't sell me the cigarette. They were not part of my transaction. And the toll I am putting on them, I didn't pay for that when I bought the cigarette. And this was a big argument for making smoking illegal in restaurants and bars in many countries in the world. When I was growing up, restaurants still had a smoking section. Airplanes even used to have a smoking section, which is ridiculous because of course the smoke's going to float into the whole airplane. But the argument is that it is a negative externality and that the government should step in and make smoking illegal in restaurants because people who are in those restaurants and don't smoke have they are only reaping the negatives of that. And the free market alone will not necessarily minimize that smoking. Here's a funny one. So when you drive your car, you make traffic a little bit worse. So even the global warming stuff aside, cars have a negative externality, which is the more you drive, the more you slow down everyone else's car. So the more cars on the road, the more traffic, the more negative. So the argument would be that the government could get involved and try to counteract these negative externalities somehow, perhaps through a toll road or a gas tax. Noise pollution. It's the corner of 8th Street in Rio Grande in Austin, Texas, 78701. This is when they were building a traffic circle there. There's this small little hippie school right across the street from this traffic circle. And there was a teacher who taught in a loft in that school who for years had to put up with the noise. Luckily, he's on the louder end of the spectrum and they worked it out. But that noise pollution is a negative externality, right? Has nothing to do with the traffic circle, has nothing to do with any market transactions going on there. It's just as negatively impacting those around the traffic circle when it's being built. So the question then becomes, should the government step in to try to right the wrongs of negative externalities? Negative externalities happen despite the free market. The free market will not price in the cost that you impose on society when you drive your car and you create global warming. So the government should step in and try to do so. That's the argument. What's the counter argument? There's always a counter argument to this. The big counter argument to this, or really the only serious counter argument to this from the free market side, is just going back to the argument that it kind of always goes back to, which is that the government just does such a bad job with things that it would be better left to just let the cards fall, right? That the government, if they try to step in and help out with this, they're going to potentially make things worse, or at the very least, they're going to do a very poor job of it. But I think you'd have to argue that they're going to even make things worse if they try to step in and try to counteract negative externalities. Often governments do step in to try to regulate things that are considered negative externalities, as well as positive externalities. Governments do build roads. Governments, built telephone poles. Those are all in the name of positive externalities. Well, governments also attempt to do things like curb global warming, minimize litter, things like that. That is the government getting involved to actively discourage negative externalities because the market is failing to do so. So the argument goes. All right, homework for tonight. Send me one example of a negative externality that was not mentioned in this here lecture. This one might be a little trickier than the last one, but see what you guys can do. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye, kids.